sitting today.
But 6 o'clock.
We went out and started pulling creeping apart with strawberry bed.
Oh, I've been doing that.
No fun at all.
No.
And the soil's too bad. It's turning into a 5 minute.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've got one of those, you know, the weeders that they usually do with the dandelions. I pop that underneath and just pull it up. It is.
Underneath all of that. And full of claws. Full of- Worms love it. Root systems.
Yeah.
Well, it's 6 o'clock, so I guess mine's will get started. Chris is at a union meeting. Chris is at a union meeting in Vancouver, and Don said he could come this evening. So I guess what we're looking at is what we've got. And I'm going to ask actually if someone else would chair the meeting, because I'm the secretary.
Are you looking at me?
I'm looking
I
at
can
it.
do, but I don't have the kid. Anyway,
Okay, well,
But-
in that case, let's proceed. What's the topic? Oh, it's right here. So just to acknowledge that we're on the unceded traditional territory of the Kuchasset and Char First Nations. Thank them for allowing us to live and evolve here. So introduction. I'm Dan, I'm the secretary. I don't believe I'm.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Stevens. I'm the newly hired manager for the Alberni Valley Food Action Group. And I'm excited to be here, listen, and learn.
And I'm Candace, and I'm with the Alberni the Food Action Group, and mostly doing the videos for Grow Local.
and I'm Jim Wright, and I'm part of, I'm on the transition team, but I'm also part of several other groups.
Bob Powell, I'm the treasurer of the transition town.
And who do we have on the screen? I see Gail and
Hi, I'm Gail Morton from Alberni Climate Action.
Helen Poon from Port Alberni City Council.
okay. So under unfinished business and current topics, an update on the city OCP. And I'm, Gail, do you want to talk to that, or perhaps Helen will speak to that?
I think I'll leave that to Helen for now. That would be great.
I don't know if there's that much to share with you. As I understand, the survey has closed now, and the OCP consultants are reaching out to stakeholder groups, and then they will compile everything and then present it to council. I'm not sure when they are presenting it to council, to be honest, but they have had some staffing shortages, if I recall correctly.
Mm.
My understanding is that they've changed providers.
No, I think the consultant is still the same, but they have some backup contractors or subcontractors.
Hmm. Sorry, Helen, but my information stated that somebody, a company was taking over from McElhenney.
That's not what I know of, but I think we approved something in council chambers last week, and it's a consultant that is I guess, a subcontractor of McElhaney.
Would you be able to get hold of me, Helen, to let me know, to clarify as to who is in charge of the OCP now?
I can certainly do that.
Thank you so much.
There was some concern expressed. We had some people from ACA and from the ACRD and from the Air Quality Council and Transition Towns had attended the meeting, I believe, on March 31st. And it was a very constructive meeting. And I think it was Kevin Brooks who hosted the meeting, and he was going to circulate notes to all of us. And none of us had seen any notes from that. And we're concerned that the output of that meeting will not appear in a way that it might eventually see its way, into the OCP. So if you could look into that as well, it would be very much appreciated.
Yes, I will look into that and get back to both of you.
Thank you.
Any other discussion on the OCP? Upcoming events, Canada Day Parade. Chris was supposed to be here. So he said he's putting together an entry. He needs to know how big a space we need. How many vehicles will there be? The press intro will mention the Alberni Bike Valet and food group gleaning and the Edna dedication. This is at a union meeting, so I'm not able to. So we'll get him to give us an update when he gets back from Vancouver. And same thing on the festivities at Harbor Key. The bike ballet should be in the parade too. I don't think so. I think we should have it set up in advance.
I think it should be set up. Yeah. I can talk about it. But if it's very, big vehicle, they got it.
Some people, that's not viewed very kindly. So subgroup reports, education network, working, Eva and Stand Earth sponsored a screening of Black in Peace, April 26th, and also Templeton Town screened about very little food called First to Eat. Far north, a lot of hunting and gathering, loss of preservation, cutting supermarket food right after diet for a year. Interesting proposition. And tonight I have a film to show about distributed energy and seeing that happen. It's very short. 30 minutes. So the food group, Food Hub.
Well, with the Food Hub, as we said earlier, Stephanie is a manager. When we lost Edna, it was like a whole bunch of people standing around a hole going, how do we dig our way out of this and what's going to go on? So with that, we came up with a sort of plan, and then we found Stephanie, and she is going to lead the way for us and be in charge of all our projects and make sure that we get organized, stay organized, and can actually make an impact.
Hi, I'm grateful to be a part of this. It's really exciting for me, both on a personal and professional level. And I've just this is my first week, and I've started by meeting with some of the key stakeholders in different groups and just trying to learn about what's going on, plans for the future, connections and collaborations that we can have. So I'm definitely available for any input or advice if anyone would like to reach me.
I was just going to add too that we are looking forward to really progressing with the gleaning this year. It's going to be a real big focus. We're still doing the videos on how to grow. We've got the Facebook page up and running, and we are thinking about putting something into the Canada Day parade, a combination of bikes and a food demonstration trailer. So it should be fun.
Is that Facebook for the greening or for the whole food hub?
We are actually, that's one of the things we're going to try to get a little more organized with. We're going to have one site that you can go to that will split off into gleaning and into the Grow Local with all the videos. Right now, if you want to look at the Grow Local, you look up Grow Local Alberni. And gleaning, I'm not even sure how to get there. I think it's just Alberni Valley Gleaning, which is why we got to clean it up. Yes. Is it a gleaning Facebook? So it's a gleaning Facebook page.
I met with Carly Gittleman, the coordinator for the Gleaning Project today, and we're just kind of focusing efforts on finding a way to work together to have a really clean, approachable way for people to access all of the projects under the food group, but also making sure that the gleaning is especially easy since that requires the most back and forth between property owners and other people. So it's in the works, and we're hoping next month we'll have more of a concrete plan as to that.
Could you communicate to the transitions list, developments as they come to fruition?
Yes.
Could we put you on the transitions list?
That would be great. Yeah, I'd love to.
So I'll get you email and
Wonderful.
get that done.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Stephanie and Candace, it's lovely to have you here. I just wondered if it's an appropriate time to ask if it's possible for the food group to get together with Alberni Climate Action to offer input to the official community plan. Or is this not good timing for that?
You know what? Everything's in such a flux. Throw it in the pile. Otherwise, it'll get missed.
Okay, who would I contact for that?
That's going to be Stephanie.
Okay. Stephanie, is your, how would I contact you best? Via email?
Yeah, that would be great. I'm not sure, I don't have access to put it in the notes at the moment. Should I just? Oh, okay. Perfect. Char is going to help me out, and we'll get that available for everybody. All right, and I'll announce it now. It's Steph, STEPH, Stevens, STEVENS, @hotmail.com. And we're also looking to, at some point, have a discussion with the Transition Society about working on getting some email addresses and accessing those, especially in light of the food group change
If
in
you
name.
Tell me what you want.
Okay. All right, we'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Cycle Alberni is there. No, I just got a thing from Ron. It's mostly about Go by Bike Week. I think he sent it through the list, so most of us will have gotten it already. Last week of May and the 1st of June are Go by Bike weeks. There's a whole slate of activities, and there are some teams that are still left on the site from last year. You can either join a team there or start your own team. And for those who pile up the kilometers, there are prizes, including the trip to the Netherlands to go biking, which of course in an era of reducing carbon footprints is somewhat anomalous. But this assures me that Go by Bike is working on that. So, but a lot of us are bicyclists anyway, so we'll put our shoulders or our knees to the wheel.
Yeah, John gave me all the information, the posters and the pamphlets and stuff, and I'll be delivering those to the schools tomorrow.
Excellent. Okay. I have nothing sent in from Ocean Friendly.
Ocean friendly.
Ocean Friendly held a estuary cleanup about 2 weeks ago Saturday and collected up 170 kilograms of plastic mostly, which doesn't sound like very much, but it was mostly styrofoam, so that is quite a bit. And there was 20 people involved cleaning maybe 300 meters of estuary shoreline, 20 adults and 5 kids, I guess. And we had great cooperation from Rob Dickinson, the city engineer. And we've got some other projects that we're starting to plan. Maybe Gail can tell you more about that.
We're planning some kind of swap meet to do with eliminating more plastics in the valley, and our meeting on that is after this one tonight, so I can't give you any more details as yet.
That's pretty subtle.
You're special.
Okay, well, I think. Oh, there have been a couple of items in the news lately about how estuaries are super carbon sinks. And they mentioned particularly the Cowichan River estuary in one report. And I forget where the other one was, but it makes estuary cleanup and restoration like it would be all around a very pertinent thing for us to be working toward. Okay, watershed, Vancouver Island Water Watch Coalition. Maybe we'll give that a pass until we get somebody back. Somas River Estuary Group, planning another weekend walkabout, community gathering, presentation about it at the June 8th AVTT meeting. So I guess we'll put that on the agenda for the next meeting and be sure and check in if that's something that's interesting to you. So the agenda has a fairly lengthy report from the ACA. Do you want to speak to that, Gail?
I think it went out to everybody. Do you still want me to address it?
Well, it's either that or we could read it. It's fairly self-explanatory.
I think the main takeaways are that we've been trying very hard to have our second input into the public input process of the official community plan, but with no luck so far. And understand through Rob Dickinson, the engineer that we meet with on a bi-monthly basis, that we will indeed have another opportunity. So that's where we are right now. And there's a new city planner, Marianne Wade, through with whom we're corresponding on that. The last meeting we had with Rob was really interesting because we got Amy Needham, the new parks manager, to work together with Rob to present on stormwater mitigation using nature-based solutions. And that recording is available through John Maba. it's quite lengthy and was very fast paced, so I was not able to take notes, but there is a recording. Rob is away for until June 20th, which will be our next meeting of Alberni Climate Action with the city. And we're just waiting for the next chance to input the OCP.
And Jim, there was a significant mention of climate circles.
Well, Gail and I have continued to lead climate circles, and there's I don't think this is working. Is it working now? Now it's working again. So yeah, we've had every 2 weeks we have a climate circle. We talk about how we can reduce our individual carbon footprint, and we get various numbers of people from ranging from about 8 to 3, and but we keeps on going. People continue to be interested. So and we have a list of people who may be interested in starting another circle. So we'll work on that in the future.
Thanks, Jim. That's sort of like, right.
May I add a bit to that? We're thinking about planning a speaker series for the fall so that each month we will have a local expert come in and talk on the various aspects of mitigation and adaptation, lowering household greenhouse gases. So John Maba and Gary Swan have already committed to that.
Thank you. Anyone here from the Nature Club?
I haven't been around the Nature Club for a couple of weeks, so I'm not sure what's going on. But this weekend, on Saturday, there's a nature 4A meets at, where does it meet? At the top of the hump, east end of the hump across from Summit Lake, if anybody's interested. And other than that, I'm not sure just what the Nature Club is actually doing. Oh, broom busting. There's a couple of broom busting dates. So if anybody feels like broom busting.
And they also had the Bird Street Beaver Pond meeting. I think you were away, Jim, were you, I think?
Yeah, but that's not Nature Club. That's a separate group.
Oh, is it separate? Okay.
Yeah, it's just that Sandy is dominant in both groups, but it's a separate group.
Okay, thank you.
Did you want to say something about the Bird Street Ponds?
Yes. There was a great turnout. I was not there, but the reports that I've heard were very positive in that it's not a done deal yet, that the ponds will be developed. That's what I've heard, even though I wasn't there. So I have to take that with a grain of salt. But the turnout was, I believe, about 140 people and at the athletic hall. And the format was that people were invited to speak their minds about the development of that area. And there were many people speaking against that development. The mayor attended, and that was great. So that's all I can say right now.
Thank you.
I could add something on that.
Go.
The Bird Street Ponds item. It's definitely not a done deal. The city has not received any applications on this project. So we wait for whatever they want to submit.
How much time do they have, Helen, to submit, or do they even have to?
They can say what they want, but when they submit is when they submit. It's not up to us to decide when they will.
What would the pathway be to a trade of those lands for something
I'm
else?
not sure. I'm not sure what the pathway would be, but at this point we have no real documents of plans or whatever with the city.
Do you know what kind of environmental assessment would have to be done prior to development?
I'm not familiar with that.
And is the city going ahead with applying for riparian protections?
I'm not familiar with that either.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Helen. The last item on the formal agenda is the finances, and rather than read them, can I direct everybody to the avtransitions.org page, and all that information is right there. And I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Okay, so I have a little film here, which probably need Char to get it onto the screen.
A Char.
There we go.
Well, it's a link. Hang on a second. So it's YouTube. No, well, I'm not actually on Zoom.
For helmets for the.
Sure, I can.
So,
If you can go to avtransitions.org,
Like for kids.
and there, it's right there.
Cushman donated seven used bikes, and then the insurance kicked in, and they replaced the 10 bikes that were missing or that were stolen. The 7 that were donated are going to EJ Dunn, and there's 2 teachers there wanting to do the bike classes, and another teacher that's already got the kids doing bikes. But I took the bulk of the donated little bikes because they're all kinders and grade 1s, and we've got helmets for them now too. So we got two schools for the bike program. Yeah, I know, it's awesome. I've actually been really surprised at the amount of people that are on the bikes. Yeah. Yeah, 'cause I just sit there and I go, no, I don't have proper gloves. I'm not, and that's it. It's just my hands. The rest of me, I can zip up and wrap up, but no. Goofy. Oh, that's when did you want to talk about this?
So Gail, can you see the screen share?
On away from the screen.
You know what? It's the big thing is just I don't care if they merge. I have absolutely no issue with that.
There's 2 forms of energy. You have the electrical energy, and you have that blasts through anything. It can go around the problem like water.
Kann man so sagen, ja. Wirklich eine Erfolgsgeschichte, Wahnsinnsgeschichte. Das hat angefangen.
But every time I see something, it always gets tweaked, so it looks like more. professional or something. And yet at the same time, they started saying, no, just do your thing. It's going over really good. So I don't know. Oh, it was Heather. Heather was doing it all. And I was talking to Nancy and she said that she thinks by the end of this week, she will have the new local videos all sent over to Heather. Get them on the YouTube page.
Should be fine. I think, what's that?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I got the notes this year. Oh,
I suspect Helen is
yeah.
gone to do other things.
No.
She has, and Gail stepped away.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that works. Yeah, but like a lot of the stuff that they want on the Facebook pages.
I don't think anybody's
They're
there.
not there.
Like I looked at all the ones that they've got.
She stepped away.
Human energy blasts through anything. It can go around the problem like water.
Kann man so sagen, ja. Wirklich eine Erfolgsgeschichte, Wahnsinnsgeschichte. Das hat angefangen mit einer kleinen Bürgerinitiative, 10 Leute bei meinen Eltern am Esstisch. Ja, und irgendwann stieß auch der Pfarrer dazu. Er hat gesagt, wir planen auf unserer Kirche ein Solardach. Da hat das Landesdenkmal gesagt, wieso? Auf diese Kirche kommt kein Solardach. Dass wir gesagt haben, das wollen wir doch mal sehen. Und haben dann die ersten 4 Module einfach ohne Genehmigung auf das Kirchendach geschraubt. Jetzt haben wir hier eine schöne Kirche mit Solardach. Ich habe damals erfahren, dass es wahnsinnig viele tolle Menschen gibt. Und da haben auch immer mehr Leute mitgemacht. Wir machen jetzt hier unsere eigene Energierevolution.
If you look at revolutions that succeeded, the initiatives taken by citizens